that was the albatross that Gretchen Whitmer and everybody who supported her just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And, you know, the MVP of the Gretchen Whitmer campaign is Charlie LeDuff.
How ironic is that?
Yeah, I mean, that guy had that one bit of video that, you know, just, I mean, I know it by heart. I don't know about you.
As soon as I saw that video, I'm like, this is not where the majority of people are at, or even the super majority of people at. And I got texts from friends of mine just with the word cringe.
You said no exception. But the question would be like a 14-year-old who, let's say, is a victim of abuse by an uncle. Yeah. You're saying Carrie?
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man, LeDuff. No bullshit.
That's right, motherfucker.
MVP. 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 Hey, hippie, I can't hear you. MVP. That's right. MVP. Blew that shit up. $15 million. Charlie. Can't get you enough of some Charlie. That was worth 5 points. That was 5 points, Gretch. Easily. Now, you know, that was Epic Campaign commercial. Tudor Whitmer sitting here, giving an interview, asked in a normal way. You know, 14-year-old gets raped by her uncle. She's supposed to show up to the family reunion with that thing? No exceptions. All right.
Oops.
But what's with the other dude? In there. How ironic is that? What do you mean, how ironic is that? Oh, by the way, a shout out to Steve Freeze from Newsweek. Great writer. What's he got, Jason? Our Magazine?
Our Magazine profile on James Craig this month.
Yeah, remember James Craig was leading this race? Was leading Whitmer?
Yeah.
A lot of rewriting of history in that interview.
That's good. Jason.
What a shot.
Jason Rowe is sitting in Karen's chair. Jason Rowe, if you don't know, was the executive director of the Republican Party. Up to just before Craig lit himself on fire because you didn't want to give in to the Trump wackos. Is that right, basically?
So the short of it, yeah.
Yeah, now you're out there like, hey, looking for a loser? GOP. I think what you're doing is trying to tell the GOP, get your shit together, move to the middle, because when it comes down to the general election, it's all of us independents. Is this correct?
Well, I think historically in a election like this, independents break for the opposite party of the president 2-1. We split it. So it definitely is the swing voters that cost Republicans across the country. That's why that red wave didn't materialize, is because independents did not break towards Republicans.
And we'll get into it. We're not into that shit, you know. And before I go into the, isn't that ironic? Karen's at home. Hey, how's the cold doing, girl?
It's not. But Jason looks better in my chair than I do.
Oh, you with those self-body image. You're fantastic.
He just looks good in the chair. Now
it's the
I
pink
look
shirt.
sick. I'm at home.
Everybody tell Karen that she's gorgeous.
You're gorgeous.
You are gorgeous.
Beautiful. We love you.
I was disappointed you weren't here.
Hey, don't pander. You know, you sound like a politician now. Don't do that.
No, I'm actually telling you the truth.
Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that.
Real quick, with we'll get into the whole thing, but Jason's estimation about independence not delivering a wave at all. What do you think, Karen? You've been actually in politics your whole life.
You know, it was a quite interesting night. I guess, you know, for me, I'm looking forward. I want to see how all this pans out for the benefit of voters, those who voted for those who won, as well as those who did not vote for those who won. I mean, they represent everybody. So, you know, everybody gets excited and they're celebrating. And, you know, are they going to continue to ride this wave of power? Or are they really going to start trying to do something that represents progress for the people in Michigan?
Shit. I mean, come on, man. Paint's not even dry yet before we get to all that. I mean, it's not like the Republicans didn't take back the House of Representatives and maybe the Senate. So, you know, it's a few people in the middle. You better start talking sense. But let's go back. Hold on a second. What's the movement over there? Is something, you know, we got new guys.
We're counting ballots.
Oh, Yeah. Okay, we'll be back to you next week. Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I'm just trying to get it on YouTube. I messed up. Sorry.
I don't give a fuck about
know you
YouTube.
don't.
Okay, so none of that. None of that. We don't give a fuck about. Fuck you, YouTube. You're getting what you deserve, and Facebook getting what you deserve, and Twitter you're getting what you deserve, and all you blue checkmark punks. Stop whining. You're lucky Elon Musk don't make you do push-ups and take an IQ test to get that blue check mark. Come on. Which brings me back to, that's ironic. No offense to the guy, I don't know him, but what's ironic? I know what he's saying. I'm tough on Whitmer. But I'm a reporter. You remember?
I don't see the irony.
You remember the 90s? Somebody's in power, you hold them to account. Your nursing home shit ain't straight. I'm going to hold you to account. Your budget's fishy. I'm holding you to account. You're firing the health director and you're signing secret documents, and then he's off to the University of Michigan. I'm going to hold you to account. So what is that? How do you see what's going on with the media? I just did my job.
There's no objective media anymore.
I think there is. Oh, hold on.
Oh. Is it Whitmer?
It's my poll group. It's one of my brothers. That's how I poll. There is objective media.
Where?
Here.
You're right here. Yeah.
Outside of here. They're all in lanes. They're all on teams. They're in their tribes.
You went to
and they're all friends, and they're all trying to be friends with the people that they're covering. I asked Charlie that the other day. I said, Charlie, just objectively, can or should reporters be friends with elected officials? He said they can be, but they shouldn't be. And that's the problem. They're all trying to be in the circle.
Yeah. Well, look, let me, here's a note here. Dixon, before James Craig blew up, was getting 2%. Nobody knew shit. You didn't actually think this woman was going to win, did you? I mean, not me. Hey, Byrne.
Yeah.
What was the number I gave you last Thursday? Like Whitmer by what?
Like 4.5 to 5.5%.
4.5 to 5.5. Okay, maybe it's 8 to 10, but like I didn't lose at the casino. You knew every poll it was going to be Whitmer, Nessel, Benson, right? The big three. And all the props were going to pass. You knew that. Because what did the Republicans give us? Okay, you got...
I wasn't so sure 3 weeks ago, and I think the old adage about momentum in elections is kind of gone, maybe because of mail-in and early voting, but...
True.
There was a lot of momentum.
That's absolutely true. Like, you know, Jason's here.
The momentum came. Remember, we talked about the impact that Proposal 3 was going to have on voter turnout. And I think that proved to be effective.
Because when it comes down to it, the Republicans, when you really got to face it, you could always hide behind Roe v. Wade, right? Since it's law. It's an easy one. I'm pro-life. Can always do that. But now the rubber hit the road, and you don't even know who your own constituents are because the majority of Republicans believe in abortion in some circumstances. It's arranged, and they jumped, I bet you. They jumped.
We're the dog that caught the car. And especially just a few months before the election, that gave Republicans no opportunity to even figure out how to message this or deal with it.
Yep.
Did you feel like you were starting behind the line because of that? Because there was so much momentum and Roe v. Wade was overturned?
Well, I don't think most Republican strategists, candidates even thought that it would happen. And then it did. I mean, we knew we would talk about it, but I don't think anybody prepared for it or thought about what are we going to do when that moment happens. Wow. There were a few, somebody you've had on this show before, Fred Zolik, was someone who was ringing the alarm bell for a long time that we need to pay attention to this. And I had done some things to prepare for the inevitable, but there's a shock to the system. I don't think anyone believed this would ever happen, and then it did. And I think a lot of this, it didn't matter how well you messaged it because there was a reaction. You went into your corner on how you felt about this issue. I also think we thought we could blow past it, that we could use inflation to get people to ignore how they felt about abortion and focus on something else. And
we're not dumb. We know inflation's kind of a federal issue. We're not dumb. This is local business. Plus, you're there. So I want to ask you this no, I won't. I'll leave it. What's your position on abortion?
What's mine?
Personally.
It's evolved. I would say I'm more pro-life now than I was when I was younger.
You believe in abortion, rape, incest, life of the mother?
Yeah, generally, yeah.
Oh, okay, so I just think that's it. Because even you're not what was once portrayed. Like everybody had to know that you were the former executive director of this state party, and that's what you're thinking. Nobody's going for that. And then, by the way, Mark.
Yeah.
So 3 weeks ago, when you're like momentum, what'd I say to you? I don't know.
Oh, you didn't buy into it.
Well, I said it's Whitmer.
Yeah. Because people were sending you polls showing, hey, look, it's tightening, and you weren't buying into it.
Nah, not when my brother Billy,
Yeah.
Trump guy, pro-life, 2 grown daughters, and he's like, no, he heard Tudor Dixon go, no, dude, that's fucked up. You know, I love my daughter, and I'll do what I need to do for my daughter, right? And they're good people, and they got grandchildren, and they help out. You understand what I'm saying? Like, when you lose Billy, you lose. That's and my brother Frankie. You know, he's a liberal, but he'll vote conservative values. He says it's whack. That's my community. I'm like, no. So do not think, oh, ironic, because I'm holding the governor to account for everybody else's life, and you wouldn't do it? Yeah. Here's the other one. Let's put the Trump in here. Now you can give us the national scope. Karen.
Yes.
Down this ticket. Okay, let's just do the ticket. You get Tudor Dixon, no exceptions. Oh, Jesus, right? You got Matt DePerno for Attorney General, and this guy's out there stealing voting machines, tampering with them. I can show you how it's fake. Like, you might go to prison, motherfucker. Then you got the Secretary of State candidate, Christine Caramo, who's faking like she was at Cobo Hall in 2020, telling you shit she didn't see, and tonight she's busy trying to figure out how to prepare her kids for dinner. Not what she gonna prepare her kids for dinner. Yeah, how to cook the kids. Cuckoo. And anybody that knows this show knows that. Go ahead, Karen.
I was going to say, just, everybody, especially in the Republican Party, still tend to think that Donald Trump has the ability to win an election. And all 3 of the candidates that you just named proved otherwise, because they did align themselves with Trump, visited Mar-a-Lago and got his endorsement. Dixon had a visit from Trump on her behalf. It just didn't translate to a win.
Let me back this up. No, Trump came in here after Dixon got the nomination, give her some credit on her own behalf, did the work. He came in trying to take some credit. Trump, Mr. Republican Jason Rowe, is kind of repudiated this time around. I mean, the 5 competitive House races across the country, they all lost, right? He lost Dr. Oz, right? The carpetbagging Dr. Oz. He lost Michigan and probably others. Is the Trump Stop the Steal movement dead? Has it stopped in its tracks? Can we move on now, please?
I think it's too early to be seen. He clearly is going to be making an announcement Tuesday that he's running for president. And I think the more he's criticized in the wake of this, the more he's being goaded into announcing. He has pretty much lost in all the competitive states where he endorsed and kind of chose or foisted candidates upon the party. He lost. I mean, you mentioned a couple. You got Arizona. On election night, he took credit for 3 Senate races: Alabama, deep red state; Florida, deep red state; and Ohio, deep red state. Of those 3 candidates, the only one he had any role whatsoever was Ohio, where he endorsed J.D. Vance in the primary. He had nothing to do with Florida, and he barely had anything to do with Alabama. So that was what he was taking credit for, because he had nothing else to take credit for anywhere in the country.
And another cultural shift. I mean, you're seeing Republican, you know them. I mean, I don't hang out at, Republican parties and whatnot, but like that was the battle.
They're not
that was the battle
parties.
Before. Like half the party's the country club, half are, working class people who want to believe, half believes in the steal, and the country doesn't. It's time to move on. When I was working at Cobo Hall in 2020, I was there with my own eyes for everybody. And you know what I got? Fuck you, I'll fucking kill you. You're a fucking liar. And I'm like, how am I a liar, dude? I'm doing the work. So then I was a liberal tool. Now I'm hearing this local like, isn't that ironic? Now what? I'm some kind of conservative tool? Get with it. Just reality. That's the way to win.
Well, and is the Stop the Steal dead? I don't know, but guess what? We just got through a national election. And do you hear anything going on about election chicanery? Is anybody saying I got robbed? I had a Washington Post reporter call
Arizona.
me. Well, let's wait till it's done because they haven't
will,
finished counting. But I had a Washington Post reporter call me yesterday and say, when Trump said that there was something going down at Huntington Place, how come the activists didn't rally up and go down there with their pitchforks? And I said, you know why? Because of what happened in 2020, the Republican Party recruited and trained election observers and election workers. The Democratic Party recruited and trained election observers and election workers. And guess what? Janice Winfrey made sure that her people were trained up, and the media was there. And so now we have all these eyes on the process who actually know what they're supposed to see and what the mechanisms are if they see something they don't like. And so when Trump rang this alarm, and people ran down, if they did, to Huntington Place, the former TCF Center, what did they find is party people that were trained up that said, nope, no bullshit here. Everything's fine. That's what we needed, and we didn't have, and now we have it.
And they found Charlie LeDuff.
Yeah, how was
Captain
it?
Accounting Board 112. We'll get to that later.
All right, Captain.
Accounting Board 112. I mean, Detroit bent over backwards. And yeah, there was a shit.
Well, and you'll remember when I was at the party, Janice Winfrey sent me a letter early on. We want you guys to work with us to make sure that we've got the people there to make sure that this stuff doesn't happen. We were treated by the media as nefarious because we were recruiting and training poll workers and poll watchers. We've been doing it forever, but it ain't sexy work, so no one ever did it.
I love it.
But because of 2020, now every jackass wants to be a poll watcher or a poll worker.
And the media stayed all night long this time.
And got to see
Gotcha.
nothing. There was no insurrection.
Isn't
There
that
was no
ironic? They
disrupt.
stayed all night long. Okay, listen, we're going to continue on, but we'll take some calls tonight. 7345 NB News. 7345 NBNEW. It's the NPRW. S. Karen, is the Stop the Steal movement dead?
I think it's only going to really be dead when they find something else to latch their wagon to. I was actually looking through my photos because I saw a guy the other day and I took his picture. He had a license plate that said Trump 24. So there are people that are going to be relentless. They're going to hang on to it, whether it continues to be in the forefront, maybe not. But that's still going to be a driving force. People are hell bent on proving that Donald Trump won that election, even if they have to try to get him reelected in 24.
Well, my brothers, you're right. My brothers and sisters who believe that, respect, right? Respect. But again, there's no proof and there's no suspect. There's no suspect. Who? Soros?
Believing anything. That doesn't matter.
I'm just saying it does matter, though. It does because you all got to focus on your kitchen table, what's in your fridge, what's in the bank, right? The police are rolling down the street. If you're being treated with some modicum of dignity in this country, I get it. I'm from you. It's a mess, but don't make a bigger mess because you see what happens now. And if you want to believe it, I'm always willing to hang and talk. Just like this Antifa dude. I get lots of email. I thought this was interesting. Just give me a second. I'll pull it up.
While you're doing that, Charlie,
There it is.
I do want to say something.
It's too late. Go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, we just got through an election which CNN and MSNBC and the left and the media were all telling us that Republicans are up to stealing democracy. Democracy's on the ballot. If we don't show up, these guys, there were no incidents. We just had the first election after 2020, and you'd think I'd turn on the Today Show Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of this week, and everyone be celebrating how non-controversial this election was, and no one is saying a fucking thing about it.
Oh, so what you're
for all the buildup for how bad things were going to be and all the nefarious activities, why are we not celebrating how controversy-free this thing was?
Well, then let's celebrate that because that says something good about the MAGA crowd, doesn't it?
Well, and that's what I would argue to reporters. Like, this is not necessarily a bad thing that there's more eyeballs and more transparency on the process to reassure people that they can trust the process.
And that they accepted it.
And they accept the outcome.
Well, that's the media, but how ironic that I would accept such an explanation. How ironic it would be to actually listen. Now, this is, I'm just going to call him, I'm going to call him Craig. This was a little back and forth. Here's Craig to me. What's the date today?
The
10th.
It was yesterday, but I hadn't slept because I was counting your vote.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And it's a great thing to do.
I'm being serious.
Okay,
Glad
so
you
Craig
did.
says, it seems to me like you were unable to politicize the deaths of old folks and smear the governor. Your little commercial about me saying, let's go back. You don't know Cuomo. My little thing on social media. That's what he's talking about. That even helped her. Good work, Mr. LeDuff. I'm like, what are you, Karen Dumas calling me LeDuff?
It's LeDouche.
Oh, LeDouche. It's LeDouche, Craig. Spell it right. Okay.
Is that Craig Mauger?
No. Then I wrote to Craig, Antifa Craig. Thanks, Craig. You like my Dixon commercial too?
It's a great comeback.
Till he wrote back, oh yeah, strong work. Then he goes on, but why'd you give a mouthpiece to anyone supported by the DeVos family is beyond me. They don't give a shit about anyone but themselves and the super rich, and using my tax dollars to pay for some rich kid's private school. Fuck that.
Wait, he just said they don't care about anyone but themselves. He just now acknowledged they care about somebody else's kids.
Yeah, rich kids, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wrote back. We got a conversation going on, and I will have conversation. That is 7345 NB News. I'll have a conversation with you. Just whatever's on your mind. I wrote back to Craig. I wrote, brother, I don't think you think I support the current state of things or the domination of public life and the public dollar by the oligarchs or special interests, and I'll put this in, the political parties. My job always has been and always will be questioning the power, at least those with it or those seeking it who are willing to face the questions. In the case of Dixon, you see how it worked out. People heard that interview and made their decisions. That's why. Craig, got it ready?
Yeah. Yes.
I will have lunch with anybody to get you an answer. I will take a road trip with the West Coast Grand Dragon King Kleagle of the Ku Klux Klan if that's what it takes. Who in America don't you like and you want out of here?
I told you, the Jews, the blacks, Mexicans, the Orientals.
Catholics?
Catholics. Blacks should go back to Africa. And the Mexicans need to go back to Mexico.
And the whites should go back to Europe?
No, this is our land. We founded it.
But Jesus was a Jew.
No. No.
Yeah, Jesus was a Jew.
Jesus was not a Jew.
What do you mean he wasn't a Jew?
Jesus is not a Jew. You're a Jew. Have you ever read your book, The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zionism? It's made by your elders, wrote by your elders.
What
Your Jewish Zionist elders.
Protocols of the Elders Learned Zion. You never read that book? What he's asking.
No, but he asked me, he said, I'm a Jew. I mean, what makes you think I'm a Jew?
Because you said you were part Jew.
I did?
Yeah. You said you were black, Jew. Oh, okay. Excuse me then.
Cracker?
Huh?
Cracker.
What do you mean, cracker?
You want a cracker?
Oh, no thank you.
Wait a minute. What did he say? You ever wrote? Never mind. He's screwing up the English language.
We'll let you stumble through that, Karen. Go ahead and absorb that one.
Did you bring crackers just for that moment?
I always travel with crackers and some sliced cheese, bro. It really that and a pack of cigarettes, right? Really gums up the works when you need it to be gummed up.
I love how polite he was.
Hilarious.
That motherfucker. Guess where he lives?
Where?
5 minutes from Disneyland. Orange, California. Swear to God. And you know, when you Google Earth his house, guess who's mowing his lawn? That's right.
Mexicans.
Paco.
Oh, jeez.
I know what
he said Oriental, so he's talking about rugs. What is it like? Who is this guy?
I don't think you need.
I don't think he cares about.
You need
it.
to correct the grammar
grandparents.
of the King Kleagle. I mean, you know.
He was raised by his grandparents.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let it sit. Let Karen collect her thoughts.
No, I can't on that one. I've watched that numerous times. That's probably one of your best interviews, Charlie, and it's the offering of the cracker for me. But, when people try to speak from the position of authority or knowledge and they can't craft a sentence or a paragraph correctly, I kind of stop listening.
Karen, they're the Klan.
Yeah, why are you listening?
That means they spell it with a K. Okay, so listen, in no way am I, stop the mail. In no way am I comparing anybody to anything, because that's the era we live in. I'm just saying, Craig, dude, it's my job. And if we were betting, I would have won a shitload of money last week. But I got to do the job. And you shouldn't think that people dying in a nursing home from very bad decisions that have never been owned up to is in any way some kind of politicization. It's not. And that's why I'm the MVP. Let me just
So, Charlie,
ironically.
since you kind of helped deliver at least some points for the Whitmer campaign, do you think maybe now in her next term she'll come on and talk to you?
Great question. I got a great answer. Don't matter to me. I'll be there.
And the answer's no.
Yeah.
She won't.
You run for president, I'm going to be there. You do some dumb shit up in Lansing, I'm going to be there. Because now I got to do Lansing. Now, and I don't want to hear this. Detroit City Council is Democratic. Detroit Mayor is Democratic. I live in Oakland County. The executive's Democratic. The commission's Democratic. My boutique little town, it's Democratic. My state rep is Democratic. My state senator is Democratic. My secretary of state, my attorney general, my governor are Democrats. So don't say, why don't you hit Republicans? Because there are none anymore. I'm not driving to Escanaba for a story. You know what gas is doing? And if that gas don't get low, you're going to be out, Joe. This one was about abortion and about that stop the stealing, and we just answered you. So again, my vote is for the taking if I hear the right things. How's that, Karen? That answer it?
So where do we go? Yeah, it does. But where do we go from here, Charlie?
We go right to commercials. Listen, American Coney Island has a new warehouse. It is Coney Kit season. 1 dozen dogs, 1 dozen buns, a Vidalia onion, the instructions, a nice hat for the kid, all to your door. Holiday season, birthdays, Christmas, New Year's. I mean, I hate to promote this because it goes berserk. I mean, it goes berserk because it's the best dog in the country. The chili, proprietary. It's proprietary. Did you know that? The dog made specifically for American Coney Island. It's going to go nuts. Do it now because I don't want to be seeing 1,000 of these kits 2 days before Christmas because it really sucks. Cutting into my partying time.
You can have American Coney Island for Thanksgiving. You don't have to have a turkey. You can do that for Thanksgiving too.
I mean, that's really actually for Thanksgiving, yes. Christmas, cook. But wait a minute. You see the price of ham?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So get you a Coney kit and call it a day.
Get yourself Coney.
It's about family.
And for other consultants, people like me, this is a great gift for clients.
Well, look at that. How political was that?
I know. Always thinking of the clients.
Go to AmericanConeyIsland.com. Okay, and also, everybody hates me because I'm the MVP, because I went to Legacy Partners and got my insurance reconfigured. I really did.
That's why.
I told you. Mark, you use Legacy?
I absolutely do.
You paying less?
Save me a lot of money, yeah.
And you getting more coverage?
Yeah, I do, actually.
You getting life insurance through them?
I do not get life
insurance. Yeah, I got to get that.
Man, I was 3 for 3, and you had to throw that out.
I didn't get it.
You might be a little late.
I'm a little late. Why spend the money? I'm going to die young. It's going to be
quite the premium.
Your premiums are like $5,000 a month.
Yeah, now cut that out because I'm going to die young, and they're going to he called his own death. Babe Ruth of death. I'm going to fall right over left field fence. But they did.
Can I have your sweatshirt, Charlie, if you do?
What's that? I can't hear you, Karen.
Can I have your sweatshirt if you do?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, it looks like it's made for a girl.
This was a gift from the sergeant of the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit. We went into Iraq together. I was cold. He gave it to me. God bless everybody that served has served, or is thinking about it. So, yeah, that's that. Yeah, you can't have it, Karen. It's too dear
I was
to
going
me.
to say, I think that was a no.
But I bet your legacy partner even issues life insurance to Marines going into combat zones. I don't know, but you should call them. They will shop between 7 and 10 carriers for your insurance to find the best deal, and they got me that. Very proud that they're sponsors of this program. Again, Medicaid and Medicare, don't get hustled. Everybody's trying to hustle everybody. They'll help you, and it's free. Free. Didn't cost me anything. I saved. 586-209-4106. Right? 586-209-4106. Okay, what's going on? No. What's going on? No.
I want a Coney dog.
What a bitch.
I'm hungry.
He's ordering food.
Well, I'm hungry.
In the show.
I'm trying to promote American Coney.
Okay.
You were talking about it. Now I'm hungry.
Think of your clients.
Your name it's not bitch. It's Jeeves. The handler, the professional handler has a handler. Nothing wrong in Republican land. I'm telling you.
Just my homeboy. Just my homeboy.
Oh, and by the way, yes, our Democratic friends were going to come on, but they couldn't because there's victory parties tonight. Victory.
Republicans got nothing but time on our hands.
Blue wave, champagne, private jets. Woohoo! Couldn't make it. Love you. You guys did a great job. You did a great job. You know, you focused it. That $90 million the governor spent didn't go to waste. I mean, this nationwide, the total spent was $17 billion. And you know there's another billion off the books for another 6 months, right? Yep.
Is it just that simple? Is it just money?
Yes.
It is just money?
Answer that. That's a good
Well,
one.
you know, I just came back from a panel in Lansing of pundits, a lot of 8 media types. And how many questions? Pundit Palooza.
Wait, he went to Pundit Palooza. So, like, after the fact, you had the media, the politicians, the professional political handlers, and the college professors all rubbing each other's heinies?
Something like that.
Oh, my God, that's disgusting. What is it, the Mackinac Policy Convention?
It was a mini Mackinac. But there was a couple questions from the audience about the brilliance of the Whitmer campaign and what could other states learn from Michigan Democrats? How about having an incumbent governor with $70 million and an opponent with $10 million? Like, that's a good start, as the Democrats in Florida will tell you, because that's what Ron DeSantis had. Like, there wasn't anything brilliant about this campaign. She was an incumbent that seized on an issue and had 7 times more money than her opponent. Like, you start from that standpoint, like, winning in that situation is tough. How are you supposed to compete with that?
And let's remember polls, and I don't really trust a lot of polls, but the polls show even up to election day, the majority of people did not trust Governor Whitmer.
Look how long she struggled to break 50%. She was under 50 up until 2
election
to 3
day.
weeks out. She was, got to 51, got to 52.
What 50 are you talking about?
What, 50?
You mean
50% of the vote?
No, I'm just talking about job approval and
I'm talking about on the ballot, like when they polled Gretchen Whitmer and Tudor Dixon, she was up until 3 weeks, maybe 2 weeks out, like 47, 48, 49, but she couldn't break 50. And she was, we all saw it, all of those in Michigan, especially in Metro Detroit, got more Charlie LeDuff than we bargained for. 2 months and $25 million of ads exclusively attacking her on abortion, and Whitmer still couldn't get past 50%.
How did we do here in the No Bullshit News Hour during this?
Well, you clearly made a mark.
Did we?
Yes.
We
you left a stain in the underwear on this one.
We did well.
Yeah,
I'm very proud of this crew. Just a shabby little crew doing. Oh, hold on a second.
Shabby? We're not shabby.
I don't know who this is. It's a PR firm, but no thanks. They must have just got done with the oysters up there in Lansing, the Pundit Palooza.
Can I ask an opinion on another thing regarding the election from both of you guys?
Anything, sir.
Okay, so I've always felt Republicans are far better on messaging. Democrats just never have a good message. So the message this time is democracy's on the ballot. To me, that seems kind of ethereal and an obtuse kind of thing. But it seemed to work. Why did that work? But inflation, when everybody's sees their grocery bills go up, see gas go up, but still have their job. Is that the reason why? Like, why?
I'll answer that. I'll take that one, Jason and Karen. Thank you. We all know that inflation's a federal issue. It's the feds. It's budgets. It's unfunded mandates. Bada bing.
The electorate doesn't know that.
They do.
They do not.
Oh no! It's like my state senator made inflation go up. No, it's Sleepy Joe spent too much money.
No.
Well, see, that's why you lost. That's
No.
why you lost. You should listen to the middle. I don't know about the Palooza.
You're listening to
Whitmer had a
yourself right now.
commercial saying that she had nothing.
But I
to
was
do with
right. I'm the
inflation.
MVP.
Go ahead, Karen.
She had a commercial saying that she didn't, that she had nothing to do with inflation. Remember, she's standing in front of the cereal saying it's $4 a box.
Because she probably saw in her polling that it was starting to cut in, and she had to make an argument.
But nobody believes that.
I do believe
Believes
that,
what?
though.
Believes what?
That Whitmer has anything to do with inflation, but she does because the budget again went up 30%.
Okay, but I mean, in my experience,
funded by empty dollars from Washington, which will expire. You can't. The road money will come next year, but the add-ins to the budget won't. So good luck, the the Democrats. Now it's the blue wave. You've got the governorship, attorney. Do we have that graphic?
Yeah, I'm putting it up
This
now.
is sent to us by Jason here. If you're listening, I'll read it to you. But if you're watching, this is unbelievable. In 2016, the Republicans held the governor's office, Secretary of State, Attorney General, Supreme Court majority, Board of Education majority, the Senate majority, the House of Representatives majority, the majority of congressional Washington delegates, the Oakland County Executive Chair, and the majority of the seats on the Oakland County Commission, 2016. 6 years later, they're all Democrats.
And that Oakland County thing is important because it's the second largest county in the state and the first largest Republican county. We've got wiped out in the last 6 years. We have 3 elections since Donald Trump was first elected. Well, 2 since he was elected. And we've gotten wiped out.
And you better get wise, because one other thing we didn't do is the Democrats did a very good job, and they've sort of bullshitted the people. The Independent Redistricting Committee was really left-leaning, Democratic, and they gerrymandered this whole shit. Detroit has very little representation in Lansing. They've decided to cut pie strips from Detroit all the way up to Birmingham in order to get these seats. But Detroit doesn't have much Detroit representation. And Karen, you've been saying it and saying it and saying it, and that one's going to come home to roost.
Yeah, it is, Charlie. I mean, but again, and I hate to say this, but I've said this before too. I mean, even when there was Detroit representation, what did it translate to? And so at this point, it's kind of, if I had to quote Donald Trump, like, what did you have to lose? Like, we haven't gotten anything. I mean, we really haven't. So I don't know if it's, it was taken away because we didn't leverage it or do what we were supposed to do, or if we just, I don't know. But where does that leave us? In the same place.
You on your phone?
No.
I walked away thinking you weren't even listening, Karen.
I was listening, Karen.
I felt like I spoke too much already. I want to give other people opportunity.
Nobody's
Checking on his
listening to
dog.
me? That's okay. That's fine. I'll just talk.
Oh no! I thought it was teed up nicely for the Politico who is wandering around in the forest of ignominy.
When I got here, I didn't know I was going to be here.
I know.
That's how it works here. You know that.
So here's the other thing. Wait a minute. This is bullshit. Take the rustling bag over there, bro.
But not the Coney.
What's that? That's a fucking King Farouk over here.
I'm trying to promote American Coney Island, the best dog, rat-free. It's delicious.
But that's what Detroit gets out of this, Karen, is Coney dogs from American that are rat-free.
Don't say that word.
I vote for that.
Don't say that word.
Election 2024 has already started, hasn't it, Jason?
As he's showing up, Coney in his mouth. Perfect timing.
This motherfucker's a hit, man. He wouldn't do this to NPR. He wouldn't do it to Tucker Carlson.
I'll give him a break. I mean, the election did just end. This is you're still decompressing.
By the way,
I've been binging for days.
While he's eating that, he's more moderate than you know. Because
I'm not moderate.
Because the number one thing that actually passed with the most votes in Michigan was Prop 1, and he was behind it. 2024 has already started. And, okay, listen, if you called in, call back, because everybody hung up.
Leave him waiting so long.
Put them on hold too long, Charlie. You got to take your callers.
Go,
Jeez,
I don't have to be.
You're like asked Apple customer service.
Why do I have to be yelled at for everything going on here? I mean, let me tell you, like, about people that actually can handle tech. That would be XG Service Group, specializing in business IT. They manage services like internet and voice over IP, Wi-Fi design and installation, security systems, like, you know, Pelosi, you should call them, cameras and access control, digital menu boards, like drive-through. I'm thinking about getting a drive-through system.
For here?
Yeah, because you guys can't handle the phone. So
yeah, okay.
Is we get somebody on the phone?
There is. When
why didn't
you're
you
done
just
with
say
XG.
that?
I did.
Oh, is it through Matt Yaskovitz?
It is.
It is. This is thanks to Matt. Set up our phone lines. Set them up. He didn't get me the right guys to handle the phones, but I called him at 734-245-4100. Do me a favor, just call up. You got a racetrack. You got a building. You've got
anything.
Security needs. No, you got restaurants. You got drive-through. They do all of it. 734-245-4100. Call Matt Yaskovitz at XG Group Services Group. What'd you say, Karen?
I was saying, what about home security or systems at home?
Yes.
Is he able to?
I thought that was clear.
No, you said your business. No.
Well, isn't your house your private business? I just thought that went without saying.
Oh, I'm sick. Be nice to me.
Okay. We got a call, Carolyn. Here we go. Give it to me. What's eating you? Go ahead. Okay, who's this?
It's Red, the Detroit City Super fan.
Oh, yeah. DCFC Red.
Hey, what up, Charlie?
Oh, what's going on, Red? Yeah. Red from the Detroit City Football Club. Not much, brother. Didn't recognize your voice through the static. What's your beef? What's your point, homie?
Man, this thing felt like this election felt like we hand down the street.
What are you in the toilet?
Nice phone.
What are you doing in the toilet? I know your wife put you out, but she didn't have to put you in the dumpster. Okay, you were saying what now?
No, it just felt like it's like the choice between kicking the can down the street or picking up the can and cutting up people who are working the polls. You know what I mean? It's like, for me, I voted blue this time around. And the only reason that I'm voting blue really is because of what happened on January 6th and the Republican Party's unwillingness to stand up against that. I'm a solid independent. I would be willing to vote for any party.
How old are you?
When you have something like that happen and you don't have a strong voice,
Red, how old are you? Give me your qualifications. How old are you?
What's your age?
Who was your first vote for president?
Who was my first vote for president?
Yeah.
I think it was George Bush.
George Bush 1 or George Bush 2?
2.
He was shit, and fuck you for doing it, man. I didn't do that. How you like that? Craig, the Antifa motherfucker. I never voted for a Bush or a Clinton or Trump. Okay, so the first one was Bush. What was your second one?
My second one would have been Gore.
Gore. Wait a minute. So George, wait a minute. Has he got his timeline right? No, you don't. No, it wouldn't have been Gore. Bush ran against Gore. Kerry? You mean Kerry?
Gore was 2000. Kerry was 2004.
Right.
You may have conflated.
Okay, then who'd you vote for? Obama or McCain?
Yeah, I voted for Obama twice.
Me too. Okay, and then Trump or whoever was running against him, Hillary Clinton. Who'd you vote for?
I begrudgingly voted for Hillary Clinton.
Okay, that's cool. No, you don't got to be, to be honest. I mean, just be honest. Okay, and then it was Trump and Biden. What'd you do?
Biden. Again, kind of begrudgingly for Biden.
Okay, so you went 1 Republican and like 4 Democrats.
Yeah.
Respect. I totally get it, man. I totally get that. But your vote's to be earned. You're not a partisan. You're not ridiculous. It's like what they're saying appeals. You're a Detroiter. I 100% get that. And I couldn't agree more. But I'm just looking back at it all these years going, I remember Clinton, like, fuck you and NAFTA. Remember Perot was going to win. Mm-hmm. We knew it was shit then. You know? Yeah. It's been shit around here for 20-something years and a bunch of empty promises. So I'm glad you are. That's really, because you're kind of a public figure and you just said it. And go ahead and ask me. Go ahead, ask me. Ask me who I voted for.
Who'd you vote for?
Ronald Reagan.
Okay.
Then second term, because then I was 18. Andre Maru, I believe, the libertarian from Alaska. I believe, right? And then that would put me in the 92. I went Perot. And then 96. No, I didn't do no Clinton.
Dole?
I didn't do no Dole. I think it was another Did Nader run then?
Yes, he did.
Forbes?
I think I did Nader. No, I did Perot again. He ran again, right?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Really shitty campaign.
Then in 2000, I did Nader. And then 2004, that was Kerry Bush and whoever the fucking libertarian was I did, because I like to participate.
Was that Gary Johnson?
No, he was a couple cycles ago. Then I don't remember because it was another loser, but I like to participate, but I don't like what I see. And then 2008, I went Obama. I was looking for some hope and change, a little change in my pocket. Didn't get it, but it was better than Mitt Romney and the 47% of who I'm related to couldn't do it. I went Obama. Then it was Trump, Clinton, and who was the libertarian? I did third party again.
I think it was Gary Johnson, right, in 2016?
I think I did do Gary, and then I did libertarian again in 2020. I'm not even a libertarian.
Was it Weld in 2020?
No.
Weld was I think Johnson's vice president. Wasn't
right.
it Johnson
the
Weld?
woman.
Dr. Jill Stein?
No, the hippie chick,
Marianne Williamson?
No. I'm gonna get flamed now on social media. Shit.
Oh, you will anyway.
I'm old.
Well, let me ask you this regarding not liking what you see. I mean, the three big elections here, the Attorney General. Yes.
Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Remember what you're going to say. I'm going to tell you what I like. What I see. I like Luke Owacki and his advice. That's what I see. Luke Owacki. That stock market went down. Like, I can't speak for Luke, but I'm going to tell you what he told me. Write it out. Write it out. That's what he said. Do not panic. Get a strategy. Write it out long term. He knows me. What did Dow do today? 1,200 points. Why? Because inflation is only 7.7.
Only?
Wall Street's looking for a reason. Luke's like, relax, man. Do not fuck with your long-term strategy. He understands me. Told me about the I-bonds. I trust the man. Everything I said, of course. That's the legal mumbo jumbo. He didn't tell you to do that. I'm just telling you, man. That's the guy I call late at night. Dude, I'm scared. That's what I say. I'm scared. I'm scared. What do I do? He says, what are you about? What's your goals? That's what he does. You know the number I call him on? This is actually the number you get him. 248-663-4748. Luke Nowacki at Pinnacle Wealth for rational financial advice. 248-663-4748. And remember, if your shit goes up or it goes down, I'm not to blame. And he's not to blame. It's just advice. Because nobody really knows. Go ahead, Mark.
What I was going to ask, and something else from this show a few weeks back that has stuck with me, is when you had Pete Lucido and Adolph Mongo talking, and they both agreed about how the Attorney General and Secretary of State are chosen by the parties, or at least the Republicans are, because there's a lot of people out there that really do not like Dana Nessel. As a matter of fact, I don't think I found...
approval rating was under 40%.
I don't know one person who likes her. But there's a lot of people I know.
I know what you do. You give me a jackhole who steals voting machines and is being sued by all his clients.
That's kind of the point.
Perfect alternative.
So do you think that will ever change to where that would be a primary, or is the party going to keep doing
something
that?
up your sleeve, Hobie?
I think...
wait, Hobie, you got a little something up your sleeve? Good one, Bart.
Little something up there? Wait, hold on.
Mark, it's a great idea I hadn't contemplated, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Please.
Whisper. Are you going to do that?
Well, you know, I think a lot of people in the state don't realize that the political parties pick our Republican and Democratic nominees for Attorney General and Secretary of
The
State.
delegates, right?
Yeah.
The delegates. Yeah. So we're talking about party activists. So we tend to not necessarily get people that are what a general election and a broad electorate might want. This goes for the university boards. This goes for the Supreme Court. Yeah. And there's not a lot of states that nominate a convention like this. So we only do governor in a primary and U.S. Senate and the congressionals and the state legislative. But all the other statewide constitutional offices, we nominate at convention. So it is party partisans that choose them. It would take a constitutional amendment to change that.
Let's get that done. Karen, did you know that was the fact?
I think I remember Jason saying that before. So yes, I did. I remember him saying that before on the show.
Oh, I didn't listen to him. Because he's busy eating all the time.
No, but the one thing is you do have a base that gets very excited about that person, and you were there, right, Charlie? You went to the when the nomination convention.
Yeah, but Mark's.
Well, but think.
But you know what Mark's doing?
What's that?
It's radio pitch. Let's move along. Oh yes, I was at the.
Well, you did tell me to remind you. So.
I was at the convention. It was unbelievable. What a mess! What a mess! You know where they're like pre-picking and they didn't pick the guy that could win. Tom
and they
Lennon.
used Dominion voting machines to do it.
And I'm at the toilet and I'm trying to figure out as a reporter.
One or two.
The first one. Oh, the one or two. Oh, standing. I'm standing at the urinal and there's an old dude. He old. I mean, this is how old he is. He takes his pants down to his ankle when he pisses. So you can see his ass. You walk in like, oh my God, I got to get right next to this motherfucker. And I say,
you sure you weren't at a glory hole?
Well, what's wrong with that, man? Fucking Republicans. Unbelievable.
You walked in the back room of a glory hole.
Wouldn't be the first time, okay? And I'm standing there, and I thought I'd try the probe, social probe, just getting the gauge of this thing. He's like, this is the worst fucking convention I've ever seen. They all got to be wiped out. I've been coming here since 1978. And I go, yeah. And if
that was you or him?
If my uncle wanted to be called my aunt, she'd still be my aunt. And he goes, yeah, but you can't swim with girls. And I'm like, touche. Oh, look at that. It's the kind of reason why I don't pick up your pants. You know what I mean? And so at this point, it was a freaking mess. And what comes down the line just a little bit later, James Craig, the former chief of police of Detroit, is winning. He's actually beating Wimmer in the polls, and I don't believe any polls anymore. I think they're bullshit. They just lie. And as it gets closer to the thing, we all know how close it's going to be. James Craig's going to win, but he keeps fucking up. I mean, the worst, what he ended up doing was hiring, allegedly, I'm only joking. I don't want a lawsuit. A bunch of crackheads to fake his signatures, as did Perry the Mummy Johnson. And then all of a sudden we're left with Tudor Dixon, who couldn't even get into the first debate because she's polling at like decimals.
But Charlie, didn't we talk about that possibly being by design? I mean, when you're a person that comes in, the party helps to pick your team.
Conspiracy theory. I love it.
No, it's not a conspiracy theory. Here's a person who did not know how. All right, Charlie. All right, Donald Trump. It's not a conspiracy theory.
Wait a minute, you're Donald Trump. You're the wait, it was by design. I'm like, he just hired crackheads.
Charlie, and maybe Jason can weigh in on this. I mean, the party has some say so as to what people comprise his team. He didn't know anything about politics, and I think that was to his detriment. And in all honesty, he didn't know the game.
Well, I think we underestimated somebody that had never been in political life before jumping into the biggest race in the country, frankly. I mean, the Michigan governor's race arguably was the biggest race in the country this cycle. And I think we underestimated when you don't have the experience. And, part of the problem was he didn't know anyone in the system. So he didn't know who was a grifter, who was credible, who was putting their hand in his pockets, And so I feel sympathetic that, he didn't necessarily have the experience to understand how to navigate this world. But at the same time, he also didn't have the skill set to do this. You know, one thing that I heard anecdotally a lot is he'd go to events and he would just plant himself and wait for people to come up to him rather than work in the room. And I told a former legislator who was a sheriff, and he goes, yeah, that's a classic police chief. And I go, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, police chiefs don't go work the room works them.
Right.
Now, a sheriff gets elected, so they're more politicians, so they go out and work the room. But so James Craig would show up at events with tons of people that wanted to meet him, and you'd think as a politician he'd go work that room, and he wouldn't. He'd go sit down at the table and wait for everybody to come up and kiss the ring.
I got video of people that wanted to meet him. And this was his announcement at Belle Isle. This told you everything you need to know what was going to go on with this campaign. And before we play it, his microphone was out. So we have comedian Detroit Red doing
very sophisticated
interpretation for the hearing impaired. He can read lips. And here's what Red had back then.
I'm running for governor of goddamn Michigan. King Kong ain't got shit on me. And when I get in office, I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Come on. Where the fuck is the police at when you need them? This is the fuck they was talking about when I was police chief. I can't wait till I find out who dumbass fucking idealist was to do this shit on Belle Isle. They motherfucking asses fired. And fuck y'all!
So that was a very strong coming out party, Karen.
Yeah, I remember that. But again, when you have people around you, if they're the nephew of a large donor within the party, doesn't necessarily mean that they know how to develop, manage, or execute an effective strategy. And we saw people around him. We see people around Governor Whitmer right now that just don't know what to do or how to do. And it cost him this nomination.
I think that's true. We got somebody on the phone there?
Not anymore. He's bailed.
You guys are like shit.
Very impatient.
Why do they have those minute phones where they can't
I'm sorry.
on?
Like I keep getting this lady texting me going, I'm tired of you saying the market's shit, cutting off Karen. Look here. You do it.
Yeah. Where's her MVP award?
Here, call back while I do these spots. Here's what you do.
There's someone on the line when you're done with the spot.
Okay, you tell him on the line. Oh, we can't.
You
can talk to. I caught him. You're perfect for Lansing. Did he hang up?
No, he's screening it for you.
Well, we've got a constituent on the phone. Yeah. Call a lobbyist. Let's get some lunch. Isn't that how it works, Jason? What are you doing on the phone?
Well, I thought you were going to read the
Yeah, but I want your attention.
All right.
ADR experienced. The competent, reduce your costs, increase your bottom line. ADR saving clients millions. They're experts at procurement and government compliance and information technology. Call Barry Ellentuck at 248-318-9424 for a consultation. Get the job done right. ADR Consultants, 248-318-9424. And of course, the economy up and down. You're seeing it's probably these rates are going to go down. You can refinance these rates. Call Hall Financial and help yourself. Over 40% of Americans, get this, do not have $500 in their emergency fund. 40%. A lot of people don't realize that they can use the equity in their home to put themselves in a better financial situation. A cash out refinance, it's not going to cost you anything. You're just going to reset, consolidate your debt, get a note. Credit cards are now at 19% nationally. That doesn't even include the hit when you don't pay it all off. 19%. You want to refi? You got your house at 4. You want to refi it at 6. You got $20,000, $30,000 in your credit card, paying 19. Do the math. Call Hall. Prepare your family for the future. Whether you're looking to purchase a new home or refinance your current home, please call Hall Financial First at 866-CALL-HALL or get started by going to callhallfirst.com. And in this room, I rarely see, an advert where somebody's stunned. Like, I just saw it. Yeah. Wow. Fuck. 19. Think about this, people. And get yourself a Coney Kit, AmericanConeyIsland.com.
Great for clients.
Yeah, great for clients.
Gino.
Yes.
Gino.
Charlie.
Hit me, Gino. What's going on, baby?
Hey, guys. I just want to say thank you for everything you guys do. I listen to you every week. I really appreciate it.
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Enough with the blowjob, Gino. Let's go. Chop, chop. It's Thursday. I need to get out of here.
I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
And I want to hear from all three of you on this.
Who's the three? Wait, there's 3.
I'm a conservative. I'm not surprised by the results at all, based on what's happened in D.C. over the last couple years. But I want your opinion on what you think the right move for the conservatives are going forward for 24. In my opinion, I think the one gift Trump gave to us was he exposed the media for the corrupt bastards that they are. And you are obviously in agreement because you're exposing the media for the corruption that they have. I want to know what you think. What would you do? What would you do?
Okay, mine. I'll go first. First of all, if I was Jason, I'd ditch the Gucci loafers. Nope. He's not doing it. By the way, this guy comes from the block. This guy comes from that place that didn't have sidewalks, but had that big dent in the yard, and every time it rained, it'd get up into the fucking trailer. That's where he comes from.
Trailer?
Yeah, like that, man. Now, I would say this, real simple, now I'll move along. The Republicans have to stop thinking that there's some conservative orthodoxy glossary that we all live by. You got to understand us. Stop trying to tailor us to your message and tailor your message to us.
He has a much more sophisticated answer than me, but I agree with what he's saying. But what do we need to do right now? Embrace Ron DeSantis. He embodies everything that conservatives like about Donald Trump. And he doesn't have all the bullshit that comes with it. And he's got a record. And I'll tell you what, he beat Charlie Crist in Florida.
Everybody beat Charlie Crist in Florida.
But he beat him like a fucking drum. 20 points in what was considered still a purple state. It ain't purple anymore. He beat him by 20 fucking points.
It's still purple, dude.
He picked up 4 congressional seats. That guy's a winner.
Well, let me do this. It is still, everything's purple in this country. DeSantis makes sense. DeSantis ran the state, and they're pleased with it, right? That's all.
How do you get Trump to move over?
Well, hold on. We'll give that to Karen. Karen, how do you get Trump to move over?
Stop making him relevant. I mean, that's the first thing. You know, you've got Republican candidates that continue to run to him for either validation, advice, or, you know, some type of uplift. But I think the Republicans have to get their stuff together. I think that, you know, strategically, they've been kind of raggedy, been inconsistent in messaging. And then just like what Jason just said, I mean, it doesn't align yourself with the person that's going to win. It's come up with a consistent strategy and align your candidates to win. Like you're backdooring that. So they need to get their stuff together and all that entails.
Gino, you're conservative. That means that's your personal eyeballs, your soul, the way you look at life, right? That's what that means, right?
Down to the core.
You got nothing against nobody. You not a tax revoltist, but you look around and you're like, this thing's out of control. The money's wasted. They keep leaning on me. They're in my house. They're in my business. You don't want that, right?
Yep. I'm not a right-wing extremist.
Right.
I've been told I have libertarian views. But
what do you mean? You got a bad haircut and wear a woolly sweater? You know what I mean, man? Here's the deal, Gino. Believe in yourself. You know it. All they got to do is like make sense and let them know that you're sensible. They're so busy trying to craft shit instead of know you. And I keep hearing that about the media, and like all the media is shit because people are shit. And they're absolutely lovely. We're just people. But you got to drive it. You can't sit back. You drive it. You know what I mean? And I
want Mark's opinion too, though, because he always gets beat up for being a libtard. So
wait a minute. Well, you're listening to Drew's show because I don't even think he's a libtard, but he's falling asleep again because he's a narcoleptic and his drug prices are too high.
What exactly do you want to know? How can they get me back?
What would you do as a conservative to change the messaging to push Trump to the side?
Move more to the center. I just there's nothing I hate more than culture war bullshit. I don't care. I think I don't care about the trans fight. It's just such a small percentage of the population. I want everyone to have the same opportunities. It's about the economy. It's always about the economy.
And you care about trans people, of course.
Well, yeah. Of course. I know. So, it's just, I just, that stuff is just noise to me, and it immediately makes me tune out. That's just one of the examples,
I need government to do its basics, and it's doing everything but. And everybody thinks that. That's all you got. I think, Gino, the problem is, like Karen said earlier, that you're trying to trap people in a message. Like maybe it was you, Mark. It was like we got the primaries, the message, then you try to move to the center. Yeah. Because of early voting, I think all that's changed, and you just got to come out now. Yeah. Now, it's better.
I think DeSantis is the future of the Republican Party if we have any chance.
Well, no, look, DeSantis is the present, and DeSantis is Florida, and Whitmer is the present, and she's Michigan. And that's what this great, unwieldy, rock and roll, very free, let's keep it free country's about. I have no problem with what the people decide. Once they decide it, then I'm going to keep on it. And I don't know how a guy not in my business or Jason's business or Karen's business does that. But ultimately, we serve you, dude. And it's up to you to find something to do with that. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Right
One
on,
more
man.
thing. I do not know how Dana Nessel got reelected. I'm out, guys.
Because I gave it nutties. It was a nut bag. Return the voting machine, you freak. Oh, my God. Okay, let's wrap this shit up here real quick. I did TCF again. It was great. Detroit is really bending over backwards to be accurate.
Yeah, you haven't talked about that experience. You should be enlightening people.
We do it next week. Nobody likes more than an hour. This is a podcast, dude. I mean, geez. Leave them wanting.
Having fun.
Let's put it this way, though. Detroit spending, by my estimation, I don't know the whole, $10 a ballot. $10 an absentee ballot to make sure we count it right. It's ridiculous. They love me now. Before they tried to keep me out, now they love me. You know what I mean? And now I'm the fill-in guy. Hey, can you figure out why it's not printing? Got it. Hey, can you fill in as the captain on voting board? Got it. Wow. Can you walk Fillmore up there? Make sure he don't lose.
Fillmore.
He don't go to the toilet with the
How come
ballots.
you're not as handy here with the equipment?
Because I got bad
Delegates.
guys.
Yeah, he's the captain and the MVP.
Dude, I'm the MVP, the captain. I don't know shit. Just tell me who to throw it to. Good arm. I bet you I could throw this beer can over that mountain.
I do
Do
want
it, Rico. Do it.
I do want you to point out one thing
I'm going to.
that I got. Okay.
I'm going
All right.
to.
All right. I didn't want to get ahead of you there. I
got
did
to.
not. It was the most exciting thing about the election to me.
Who did I vote for?
That wasn't it.
I
That wasn't my question.
I know what I'm doing. I got an A in drama. Who did I vote for? Let me put it this way. I did a lot of write-ins because that's where I live. I got to do write-in. I know who was good for Attorney General. I'm not going to tell you. I know what I did. And my thing was the coolest ballot in Michigan. I bet you. And
They were passing it around. In the,
Attorney
election
General?
center.
I'm like, the goofball?
How many times did you run it through?
Huh?
Nothing.
Huh? I wonder if it did. No, I wonder if it did. I saw all that.
My tabulator was broken, Charlie. I just had to drop it in the machine. It was open. It didn't count automatically.
Welcome to Detroit. Exactly. And you know, if you got a broken tabulator, I strongly suggest you see a doctor and get that fixed. But I had thought that, I couldn't go for any of these attorney general candidates, and there was one guy left on the U.S. Taxpayers Party, Gerald Van Sickle, and he was an enigma. You go to his campaign page, and it was a missing milk carton guy. Okay, but Van Sickle got 31,729 votes, and I might have gone there, except Melissa Caron, what's her name?
Melissa Caron.
Melissa Caron, the pole dancer that said it was a swindle and Giuliani's gal, who was, possibly inebriated at the hearings. She was the lieutenant governor nominee for this party. I can't do it. But mystery solved.
She's kind of hot, though, isn't she?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, all women are hot, man. You know, I mean, that's me. I'm not going to vote on that.
Sometimes a little bit of crazy
If we
makes you
got to
hotter.
vote on whoever you think is hot, then I'm voting for that. Right?
She seems like she'd be fun to drink.
But we
with.
got a picture of Gerald Van Sickle.
Yeah, this is what I was so excited about.
Hot. Is it up there?
It was up there now. That is what he looks like.
God, what a beard on this guy.
But we were searching for a picture of him for weeks.
Look at his plaid shirt.
Yes, we could
His
not find a
plaid
picture
shirt
of him.
matches the party logo. This is what you do.
Good branding.
You know what he's all about?
What's that?
Me either. 31,729.
He's about
Gino,
taxpayers.
That's how she got elected. Oh my God, that's the program. We'll talk to you Monday.
Is that a Rorschach test?